The story starts with a baby girl. She was looking at her father. The father, named Enoch Rubinstein, thought, wow, an angel. That was the first thought after seeing his daughter, who looked exactly like him. The baby held her father's finger. Enoch thought, this is because she is my blood. Enoch couldn't understand himself for feeling this way. Like most ability users, this baby had been conceived merely to continue the family line. That's why Enoch thought he would feel nothing. She was supposed to be just a small being sharing his blood. But the baby became more than that. She was supposed to grow up as an ability user, a noble, and eventually a soldier in the Imperial Hound. But suddenly Enoch thought, no, I can't let her live as I do. He kissed her on the forehead and then was ready to take her away from there. He was not ready to give his daughter the life he had lived on the battlefield. When he was about to go, a girl asked, "Are you thinking of running away with this child?" Her name was Selena. She was the child's biological mother. Enoch replied, "I don't want to raise her into living a life like mine." Selena said, "She's my child too." Enoch offered, "Then let's go together." But Selena laughed. She replied, "I didn't think you would be such an impulsive person." She said, "We were born destined to die as ability users and nobles of the Empire. This child is no exception. But still, I understand what you're thinking. Having a daughter does make a man think differently." She told him to go. "I plan to head to Xenon. I don't know if I'll stay there. I wish you luck." Then Enoch Rubinstein disappeared. After 7 years, Enoch woke up his daughter. He looked different, but his daughter looked exactly like him, silver hair and blue eyes. He was wearing an adorable apron and holding a spatula in hand. He had changed his name to James Brown. After waking up, the girl said, "I'm not hungry, Dad." James told her, "I made your favorite dish, chicken and eggs." The girl sniffed and told her father, "It's not just chicken and eggs. There's broccoli as well." "I said I don't like broccoli." James asked, "How about just 2 pieces of broccoli today? If you eat them, I'll give you chocolate macarons." The girl thought, trying to bribe me with macarons, huh? But she said, "Okay, fine. Only 2 pieces." James kissed her and said, "You're Daddy's little princess." Her name was Lilith Brown. She was a 7-year-old child with a special secret. She gradually recalled her past life's memory while growing up. She was now enjoying peaceful and happy days with her dad. James was a super-skilled homemaker and a parenting master. Lilith told how she recalled her past life memories. "I began to recall my past life at the age of 3. Now, at the age of 7, I remember everything perfectly. Including the fact that this world is inside a fantasy novel I read in my past life. In my past life, I wasn't a human, so what was I? I was a graduate student, and that really wasn't a life for a human. At the age of 25, I died from overworking while staying up all night doing my thesis. And the title of my thesis was a study of characteristics of social reform suggested in fiction, focus on fantasy novels, Rebellion of Dos. How overwhelming must the stress from my thesis have been for me to end up reincarnating into the novel itself?" She continued, "Until the memory of my past life came back, I was no different from an ordinary baby. Even now, after remembering everything, my past life feels faint. Unless I deliberately bring it to mind, instinctively I find myself fully immersed in my current life. Even though I think like an adult, my hate for broccoli hasn't changed a bit." At that moment, her father asked, "What hairstyle should we go for today? Should I do bunny ears?" She replied, "Dad, should I do it myself?" "Okay, go with a ponytail." Her dad smiled and replied, "Our princess is still a baby. You can't even reach Dad's waist. It's just a body." "You know," Lilith replied. Lilith said, "For some reason, I was smaller than the 5-year-old next door. But I am a smart child who has the mind of a proper adult. I shouldn't act in a way that would make adults feel." "You're right," she said, "just do bunny ears." Enoch smiled, and he made the perfect bunny ears for her. After a while, he asked, "Whose daughter is this pretty, Then he told her, "Princess, today Dad needs to go to the market, so go play at the neighbor's house. I'll tell Aunt Susan." Lilith asked, why can't I go with you? Enoch replied, not for now. There are scary soldier uncles walking around these days. Lilith asked, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't have any abilities, not even the size of an ant. Still not possible. It's dangerous, Enoch replied. Lilith thought, the scary soldier uncles my dad talks about are the elite soldiers from the Imperial Royal Army. They came all the way to the rural territory, hundreds of miles away from the capital. The Emperor's army occasionally comes down here to find ability users. She explained, in the world of Rebellion of Dos, where I reincarnated. Humans are divided into groups. Those who can use magic are called ability users, those who cannot are called the powerless. Ability users can live with noble titles and receive high treatment, but they have a pyramid, where every individual is strictly divided based on their abilities. Frequent wars break out and ability users are often drafted into these conflicts. In this novel's story, even main characters are mercilessly killed off. Ordinary humans, the powerless, don't even make it as supporting characters in this novel, that includes my dad and me. My dad is an ordinary brown-haired, brown-eyed man. Even his name is as common as James Brown. He's clearly an extra, but I actually like it. She said, being born ordinary is a huge blessing, isn't it? What do you mean by that? James asked. Lilith replied, it is a scary world, you know. I love living a simple and happy life with my dad, just the two of us. I am so happy, Dad. For a moment, he was in shock, but with a smile, he replied, that's right, my princess. Dad is happy. After a while, he left Lilith at their neighbors and asked her to take care of her. He told Lilith, Princess, I will be back soon. Take care. Aunt Susan told her, at first, I didn't even know he was your dad. He was a young man who came into the village from the mountains. He lived quietly, without saying a word to anyone. As if he had some story behind him. Then one night your dad came, looking very tense. He was holding you. He told me, she isn't sick, but she just won't eat. She might be hungry, but whenever I try to give her a bottle of milk, she screams and cries. The neighbor asked, let me see. She smiled and said, she must have had a tough time. Come on in. She made baby food, ground some apples and mashed bananas, and made baby formula for her and told Brown to feed her. And then Lilith ate everything. The neighbor said, even though the baby was over 5 months old, she had only been drinking formula milk. That's why she was tired. She must have been holding back her hunger to express what she really wanted. After that day, your dad James became very polite to us. He helped us gather wood. And he is very gentle to my husband too. Because he was raising a baby for the first time, he must have felt lost. From that day onwards, he kept asking and learning everything new. Lilith was playing cards with the neighbor's husband. The man said, I won this time. Lilith asked, show me your cards, and he was actually cheating. Lilith caught him and said, no, I won. The man said, you got me. After a while, Lilith did laundry. The neighbor offered to help, but she declined and said, I'll do it so Dad doesn't have to do it himself after coming back from the market. The neighbor was surprised. Lilith had a heart of gold, like an angel. Then she went to the river. James didn't like it when she secretly did laundry, but still, she kept doing it. Lilith said, I was an orphan in my past life. The only memory I have of a kind guardian is my current dad. From a young age, Dad took care of me on his own. He did everything for me, from giving me baths to feeding me. Dad was always there for me. This bond means a lot to me. I will grow up quickly and repay him. She thought, the life of an extra is so peaceful. I wish I could live every day like this. Although in this world we are powerless commoners who aren't treated as human, my life is a bit poor, but still, it's a good life. Once a better world is created, I will enjoy a good life, as she was doing laundry, she said, reincarnation is the best. Suddenly she heard the sound of hooves. A group of men were coming toward her. Lilith saw the imperial crest. She realized it was the imperial army. The men were wearing blue cloaks. Are they the Dos class knights of the empire? One man said, "Capture her." Lilith was scared. The man realized she was a gifted individual. "It seems she really is Enoch Rubinstein's daughter," he said. Lilith replied, "Me? A gifted individual? Something must be wrong." The man said, "I can tell just by looking at her." Lilith told him to let go. The man asked, "Where is Enoch Rubinstein?" Lilith thought, why is that name brought up now? That name is from the novel Rebellion of Dos. He is the commander of the Dos Knight Order, the most powerful military force in the story. A sword master as well as a duke, the strongest character in the story. In his youth, he lost his young daughter due to the imperial family, and on a certain day, sharpened his blade for vengeance. At that time, he took in and raised another main lead, Cheshire. Enoch Rubinstein and his daughter. It seems the story is set before the original events begin. The daughter must still be alive, right? But what does that have to do with me? It doesn't matter. Lilith said, "You are terribly misunderstanding something. My head is spinning, could you sit me properly?" She asked, "Are you talking about Enoch Rubinstein? The Duke who is also a holy knight and sword master? With silver hair and blue eyes?" The man replied, "Yes." She said, "I might look similar to him because of my silver hair and blue eyes. My dad's name is James Brown, not Enoch, whatever. I was told that my hair and eye color are just like my mom's, who left home a long time ago." Suddenly, James shouted Lilith's name. He asked the man, "What are you doing right now?" He was holding a sword. He said, "If you don't want to die, put my daughter down." Lilith, in shock, thought, "Dad, are you crazy? Do you not know who these people are? You are speaking very disrespectfully to them, and you are threatening to kill him on top of all that." Lilith told the man, "Actually, my dad can't live without me. I think he's just temporarily lost his mind. If you could be lenient, I'll be so grateful. No matter how you look at him, he's just a random citizen. He's 27 and a single, struggling father. He collects firewood with his young daughter." Suddenly, the man gave Lilith to another man and walked toward James. The man said, "It looks like that's not true." James asked, "Why did you come?" "Let go of my daughter." The man said, "Enoch Rubinstein, the Emperor commands you to immediately return to the order and fulfill your duties." "I told you, my dad isn't Enoch whatever." Lilith shouted. The man said, "It's been 7 years. Isn't it time for you to end this? You better know that according to military law, long desertion is subject to immediate execution. But in your case, the gracious Emperor has forgiven you in high regard for your past devotion and abilities, despite clearly violating military laws. No arrest warrant was issued for you. Your title and wealth have not been taken either. All your illegal actions have been overlooked. We have been waiting for you. It's time for you to return. Disobeying the Emperor's command will only result in death." James replied, "Isn't it about time the Emperor got a little more honest with his words? He has simply kept the kennel empty for his dog to return, hasn't he?" After hearing all this, Lilith thought, "I need to stop Dad. What he's saying." She jumped from the horse. But suddenly, the man held her from her back. Enoch shouted, "Let go of her." Lilith asked the man to forgive her dad. She told him, "It is all because of my hair color. I'm so sorry. Please spare my dad's life. I'll go, okay? I'll cooperate with the investigation. Then you will see that it's not true. I'm sure that man Enoch must be hiding somewhere. I'll even help you find him. Please spare us. I am begging you." Suddenly, a thunderous light appeared in front of Enoch. Lilith was in shock. The man gave Lilith to his soldier and told him to step back and wait. Lilith smiled and said, "I'm sorry. I only just found out about this." Then the two of them were about to fight. At that moment, the other man put a sword on Lilith's neck and asked Enoch to stop and surrender peacefully. Enoch said, "Threatening me with my child. The Holy Knight Order is laughable." The man told Enoch, "We are just following orders. We have to take you back, no matter what." Enoch replied, "I no longer intend to live in obedience to the imperial family. Tell your master that. The man said, this is not an option. He put his sword on Enoch's neck and told him, it's an order. If you want to ensure your daughter's safety, stop now. Suddenly, Lilith understood everything. Her dad, whom she thought was just an extra, was actually the hidden protagonist, Enoch Rubinstein. So I am part of the story. In the original story, he lost his young daughter due to the imperial family, and sharpened his blade for vengeance. That means I had no choice. I really wanted to live a sweet extra's life. Suddenly, Lilith started laughing and said, Dad's going back to the Night Order today. After a while Enoch and Lilith were in their house. Lilith was crying. She asked, why didn't you tell me? Why? Enoch said sorry to her. But who did you take after to be this clever? Thanks to my princess, we bought some time. Those fools think we'll go with them. As long as our princess is safe, I have nothing to fear. Let's pack quickly and run. Lilith said, let's not run away. Let's go back to the Empire and return to the Night Order. I want to live proudly. I want to go to the capital with you, Dad. I'll go to the Ability Training Academy and get my badge as an ability user. After all, I am an ability user. Enoch asked, how do you even know about that? Lilith said, the neighbor told me. Enoch said, I've always known this day would come, that scary men like the ones outside could come for us. But I still ran away because I didn't want you to grow up as an ability user. Living as an ability user or as nobility might look appealing, but what you see isn't the whole truth. In the Pavilion Empire, ability users are treated like royalty. Depending on their rank and expertise, they receive noble titles, land, gold coins, and command the loyalty and obedience of all. But this all comes with obligations too. They must become the Emperor's sword, shield, and staff. They have to serve their entire lives as members of the Imperial Elite Corps. In the Empire, every day they have to hunt magical beasts. The Elite Corps are constantly dispatched to battlefields. They are no more than slaves. And the battlefield is truly horrifying. A friend I greeted the day before died and was brought back to me the same day. I buried him with my own hands. And I don't even know who will die tomorrow, or how long I will survive. I am scared, Lilith. I don't want you to live a life like mine. The day you were born, 7 years ago, you became my whole world. I can't bear the thought of losing you. Lilith explained, I do understand you, Dad. And I really want to do as you wish. But if you don't return, this country will fall. That's right, you are Enoch Rubinstein. Lilith thought, asterisk in the original story, he returns to the Night Order and then takes in the male lead, Cheshire. And then they spark a revolution in the country. Because 10 years from now, all ordinary people will die. The imperial family will give the order to execute all the non-ability users. The only one who can stop all this is you, Dad. If we run away together now, you won't take Cheshire, the male lead. If this doesn't happen, everything will fall apart. Innocent extras like me will all die. Lilith said, Dad, do you want me to live my whole life running away? Enoch replied, not really, but you said you wanted to live a simple life, just the two of us, right? She answered, I've had a bit of a change in my heart. Ability users are nobles, right? And as your daughter, I'll be the most powerful noble of all. I could eat macarons every day and wear dresses with ribbons too, right? She thought, at this point, I'll use my past memories and speed things up and find Cheshire soon. Lilith said, I want to be the real princess. Let's see, after becoming the real princess, will Lilith be able to bring revolution to the country? She told Enoch, after we go back, you won't have to struggle to chop wood and sell it in the market anymore. And I won't have to wait for you every day to come back. Also, I won't have to do laundry. Enoch replied, I told you not to do the laundry anyway. Suddenly, Lilith yelled, why didn't you tell me? Why don't you want me to live as an ability user? What if I wanted to live like that? You didn't ask for my opinion, Dad. I don't want you to be the only one calling me princess. I really do want to be the princess. I'm not just Dad's daughter. After hearing this, Enoch felt really bad. Lilith said, I'm not James' daughter. I'll be Duke Enoch's daughter. Enoch said, okay. After a while, they both returned to their home country. Suddenly, a group of werewolves appeared in front of them. The man told them, wait here. I will take care of it and be back. Enoch told Lilith, no matter what, don't come out. Shield the carriage and take care of my daughter, he told the man. Enoch went alone to fight with the werewolves. He killed all the wolves in less than 5 minutes. He was the most powerful man, they all were waiting for him to finish and come back. Lilith thought, the gap between reading it and seeing it in person is tremendous. He is the Empire's only swordmaster. He is the silver wolf of the battlefield, the undefeated soldier. After a while Enoch came back to the carriage. Lilith thought, in the blink of an eye, I became the daughter of the strongest man in the world. Now they reached the El Fascia temple. They came here to use the temple's warp gate. This is the only way to move to the capital since commoners can't enter the capital. Lilith and Enoch changed their clothes. The soldiers asked Lilith, you are 7, right? You are so small. They both asked, your dad is scary, right? When he gets mad, have you ever been hit? Lilith replied, he doesn't do that. After hearing this, they both were in shock. She asked, is my dad really that scary? The soldiers replied, he rips bears apart with his bare hands. Lilith was surprised. At that moment, she realized who the man standing in front of her was. He's Axion Libra. He'll be Enoch's closest ally and revolutionary comrade in the future, right? With such a handsome face. At that moment, Enoch came back in his original look, silver hair and blue eyes. Lilith looked just like her father. Enoch picked up Lilith and was so surprised looking at her. She looked like a princess. As he was cuddling Lilith, the soldiers were in shock. Then they all entered the gate and returned to the capital. The emperor's soldiers were happy to see him, but Enoch didn't even greet them. The soldiers were planning to hold a homecoming ceremony for him. But Enoch replied, today's journey has been long, and I am worried my daughter might be tired. I'll join you guys later. As they were going back home, Lilith saw lots of people. Enoch asked, Princess, are you sure you don't want to ride in a carriage? It's a 15-minute walk to the house. Should I carry you? Lilith replied, if you keep carrying me, I'll forget how to walk. I'll tell you when my legs start hurting. Lilith thought, I made a huge mistake that completely erased any chance for the original story to begin. To fix this, we have to follow the original story from now on. Suddenly, all the commoners started greeting Enoch. Lilith was surprised seeing this. She thought, what kind of country is this where people grovel to greet others? There are no human rights. The first thing I have to do is find the other protagonist, Cheshire, and make sure he meets my dad. My dad can't start a revolution in this corrupt empire by himself. He absolutely needs his help, Cheshire is the protagonist who is one of the strongest, with Enoch Rubinstein, in the top-tier class. In the original story, this protagonist lived a life of abuse. By chance, he caught Enoch Rubinstein's eye and was adopted as his son. But their first meeting isn't even mentioned in the novel, so I don't know how they met. And since my dad's daughter is clearly alive, he likely has no interest in Cheshire. I need to artificially arrange their meeting. Suddenly, she saw some people fighting in the corner. Lilith asked her dad to go there. As they reached, they saw 2 kids troubling a commoner. After seeing Enoch, the kids greeted him. Enoch asked, what's going on here? The kid replied, the commoner failed to greet me. Lilith shouted, you hit someone because they didn't greet you. You think you can hit people like this just because you are an ability user? They both thought, right, I can. Obviously. Enoch told them to leave. Lilith told her father, revolution is really necessary, Dad. She ran toward the boy and held his hand. The boy took his hand back. Lilith said, sorry for touching, and left her handkerchief there. As she looked closely, she realized, black hair and red eyes, she was surprised. This kid must be Cheshire. She asked for his name, but without replying, the kid walked away. Enoch told her, there are a lot of people who don't like nobles, and then they both left. This was the first meeting between the two protagonists. It was described as a chance. Lilith asked, "Can I be friends with commoners?" Enoch replied, "Yes, you can." Lilith told him, "That kid from earlier. I wonder where he went. I was thinking about him. I think I want to be friends with him. I'm curious about whether his injuries were treated, and I also want to talk to him. Can you help me find him?" Enoch replied, "Of course, my princess." Lilith thought, the original storyline is still in effect. Cheshire should be staying at Marquis Onyx's estate now. Just wait, Cheshire. I'll find you. On the other hand, in Marquis Onyx's estate, the father yelled at his son Jonathan, "If we just throw him out carelessly, what will happen if he gets caught in an Imperial ability user check? If they discover he is an ability user, they'll investigate his lineage, and then they'll find out he is my blood. Then not only will I be a man who fathered an illegitimate child, but also threw him out like garbage." Jonathan shouted, "You're not planning to announce his existence to the world, right?" The father said, "That's why we'll lock him up and raise him secretly." Jonathan suggested, "Kill him without anyone knowing." While leaving, the father said, "Don't ever try something like that. I won't interfere with anything else." Jonathan was about to punch him, but the punch suddenly slowed down. Cheshire asked himself, "Does someone like me really have powers? Because I am the child of an ability user. I am so tired. I just want to end this already." After that, Jonathan beat him and walked away. Cheshire thought, dying would be easier, but I'm scared of dying too. Suddenly, he remembered Lilith. He took out her handkerchief and thought, "Why did I even take this? I just want to die." Jonathan was so frustrated with his life, but Lilith was trying her best to take him out from that palace. After a while, Lilith and Enoch reached their house. Lilith was surprised, it was so big. She was so nervous. She asked her dad, "Don't you feel anxious? It's been 7 years since you've seen your family." Suddenly, all the maids came running toward them. They were all so happy to see him. All the maids were surprised looking at Lilith, how small she was. After a while, they entered the palace. Their maid, Rem, said, "We did hear that the Holy Knight had received an imperial command to bring the little master back, but honestly, none of us, not even the headmaster, had much hope." Enoch replied, "I guess then he will be shocked to see me." Lilith thought, Dad's father. He's the one who exuded an overwhelming presence every time he appeared. His name is Nordic Rubinstein. In the original story, he was incredibly kind to Cheshire. He pretended to be indifferent, but he secretly took care of everything behind the scenes. I hope he is kind to me. Lilith was so nervous at that point. Rem told him, "By the way, Lady Ordia is here as well. She believed you would return. She has been staying with the young master for the past 2 weeks." Lilith thought. I knew Dad had a sister, but she was never mentioned in the original story. So this is my first time hearing her name. Ugh, this is actually happening. As they entered the palace, Lilith was surprised. It was huge, and there were real gold ornaments. They entered their grandfather's room. Ordia was standing there. After seeing him, she was surprised. Enoch smiled and said, "I've returned, father." Lilith was shivering. Nordic stood up. He looked so angry. He asked Enoch, "This is your daughter?" Enoch replied, "She is my little princess." Nordic asked, "You raised her all on your own for 7 years without so much as a single message to let us know if you were alive or dead?" Lilith thought, he must be thinking I kept his son away from him for 7 years. She was about to cry. Suddenly, she said, "Sorry," to him. Enoch asked his father, "Please soften your expression. You are scaring my princess." Nordic said, "Silence." He came close to Lilith and touched her face. Lilith got so happy. She told him, "My name is Lilith, and I'm 7 years old." She hugged him. Nordic told her, "I am your grandfather," and they both smiled. Lilith was getting scared, but the grandfather was much nicer. After a while, Ordia took her to introduce her to her cousins. She said, "I have 2 sons. They are twins. They are a bit mischievous, which worries me, but they are good boys at heart. They always wanted a younger sibling. I am sure they'll really like you. If they're my aunt's sons, then they'll be the aunt races of the ducal family. They are the nephews of Enoch Rubinstein. One of them will become a holy knight, and the other will become a magic swordsman. After looking at them, Lilith realized both of them end up dying. The twins were among the few people that Cheshire, Dad's adopted son, truly opened his heart to. They were the two people he treated like real brothers. When they died, Cheshire nearly lost his mind. The twins looked exactly the same. Ordia told the twins. Leon and Theo, your uncle just came back a little while ago. And this cutie here is your cousin. Her name is Lilith. Theo introduced himself and told her, nice to meet you. Lilith thought in the original story, he was the first one to die. Theo had a gentle and caring personality and looked after Cheshire like a true older brother. Theo tragically dies the spring after he was knighted due to a rare congenital disease. I think he's got less than 4 years left. Lilith also introduced herself. Leon was standing behind. He said, you're too small to be 7. I was way taller when I was 7. Ordia told Lilith, though your brothers look exactly alike, their personalities couldn't be more different. Theo is kind and gentle, while Leon is mischievous. Leon backtalked her. She hit him on the head and said, how many times have I told you that girls won't like you if you act like this? It hasn't even been a few days since you scared Lady Ballerina with that giant spider. Leon replied, she said she likes spiders, so I brought one for her. Ordia said, she only said that because she wanted to be your friend, not because she actually likes hairy spiders. What kind of lady would like something like that? Lilith thought, Leon, who is destined to become a magic swordsman, is very playful. Which often led to him bickering with Cheshire. Of course, it wasn't how he truly felt. No one cared for Cheshire more than Leon. On the battlefield, Leon dies. He steps in front of Cheshire and takes an attack for him when he was ambushed. While thinking this, Lilith was about to cry, but she held herself. She told Leon, let's get along really well. We can even catch spiders together. Leon pulled her cheeks, but he did it really hard. That made Lilith cry. It hurts, but I didn't mean to actually cry. Why did it have to happen? I was already emotional thinking about the original stories. Theo checked if she was alright. Leon said, I thought she was cute. At that moment, the maid brought steak. Lilith thought, I've never learned noble etiquettes, and she was about to cry. But as we know, Lilith is sharp and clever, she would definitely find a way out of this situation. Suddenly, Theo asked, why are you not eating? Leon asked, are you already full? Lilith replied, it's not like that. Everyone started asking what was the matter. She felt a sudden spotlight on her. She thought, how should I respond? Would it be better to honestly admit that I don't know table manners? Anyway, Grandpa and Auntie both know I have never used these kinds of utensils before. Why isn't Dad here yet? At that moment, Enoch entered. Leon understood that Lilith didn't know any table manners, so he took the whole steak on his fork and started eating. Ordia asked, why are you eating so rudely? Your younger sibling is right here. Then Theo cut his steak and gave his plate to Lilith. After seeing this, Lilith realized they were being considerate of her. Grandfather said, enough, let's eat, and then they all started eating. Lilith loved the food. Grandfather asked her, is it delicious? Lilith replied, it's so delicious, Grandpa. After a while, Enoch took Lilith to her room. It was big and there were a lot of toys. Lilith loved her room, she found the bed so soft. Then Enoch told Lilith, the boy we met earlier, I'll find him right away. I'll locate him soon, then let's meet him and ask whether he needs help. Lilith realized no matter how much her dad tried, it would be hard to find Cheshire. Earlier they crossed paths by chance, that wouldn't happen a second time. According to the original story, he and Dad wouldn't meet again for another 2 years. Now Cheshire was kept hidden and raised in Marquis Onxie's estate. Then I guess I'll have to help out, Lilith thought. Lilith told her father, let's go to bed. Don't worry too much, Dad. The next morning, Mr. Rem brought 2 maids who were assigned to take care of her. Their names were Jetty and June. Rem told Lilith, Jetty and June are the maids who have passed a 50-1 competition to become your personal attendants. Jetty secured this position by winning first place in the tournament of bathwater temperature drawing and making snacks. They were both sisters. June held the record for 45 push-ups, 55 sit-ups, and a 3m standing long jump, ranking first overall. Lilith thought, why would skills like that be necessary for taking care of a 7-year-old? She greeted them. They both picked her up and were surprised to see that she was so small. They found Lilith adorable. Then Rem told Lilith, I will inform you of the schedule for today. The master has instructed us to start your education from today. Your teacher will arrive at 10 a.m. Lilith thought, this is exactly what I wanted. A little later, during class, the teacher was explaining multiplication with the help of apples. As we know, Lilith knows everything, she's a grown mind in a child's body, so she wasn't surprised. Then the teacher asked Lilith a question, but Leon answered before she could. Lilith was trying to act dumb. The teacher told her, don't worry, give it a try. It's okay if you get it wrong. Lilith thought, I don't have time to be doing this right now. I need to find Cheshire as soon as possible. Cheshire became their family's adopted son during fall when he was 13 years old. Based on the age gap, Cheshire should be 11 now. That meant he would have to endure 2 more years of abuse at Marquis Anxi's house. But Lilith thought of finding him sooner. To do that, she first needed to find someone, the future head of the Intelligence Guild, who would become Dad's ally years later. If I can find him early and bring him to my side, rescuing Cheshire would be easy, and everything afterward would go well. But to meet that person, Lilith would have to sneak out, and in the body of a 7-year-old, there were so many restrictions. She was solving a math problem in the study room, she had already memorized the entire 19 times table. While thinking about this, Lilith wrote the table till 19. The teacher was shocked that she solved this without any calculating. Lilith thought, this is bad. How do I get out of this situation? A 7-year-old can't write the 19 times table. But suddenly she thought, maybe this isn't such a bad situation after all. There are always a few kids who are good at mental math. I can just finish the basics and reduce study time so I can help Dad sooner. The teacher was still surprised. How did you do it? Lilith replied, your explanation was so good, it was easy. The teacher said, but I didn't teach you that if 19 apples appear 9 times, it would become 101. The teacher yelled, I believe the princess is a genius. You are a rare talent without a doubt, princess. From now on, I will do my utmost to support your education. Lilith had been trying to escape study time, but she fell into her own trap. After a while, the 3 of them were eating snacks. Leon and Theo were feeding her pastries. Lilith thought, being able to eat expensive macarons like this is heaven. At that moment, Countess Ballerina and her daughter Erica arrived. Seeing this, Leon hid behind the chairs. Lilith told him, you're not covered at all. He hugged her, looking scared. Theo told Lilith, Leon doesn't like Erica. A few days ago when she came to visit, Leon tried to scare her with a giant spider, and Erica got hurt. Mom scolded him. Erica saw Leon hugging Lilith. She yelled, what's going on, Leon? Who is this girl? At that moment, Ordia arrived. Erica asked her, who is that little girl? She replied, she is Leon's cousin. After hearing this, Erica was surprised that the Duke had returned. She pushed Leon and went near Lilith. You really look like an angel. You startled me, I almost got jealous. I am Erica. Lilith also introduced herself. Erica said, I have already promised to spend my entire life with Leon here. Leon shouted, are you crazy? Who decided that? Erica said, we'll be family later, so you can call me older sister in advance. Let's get along together. Lilith thought, she's into Leon, not Theo. That means Erica likes bad boys. At night, Enoch came back from work. He hugged her, little princess. Lilith told him, I had dinner a while ago, and then we went to tailor for measurements and ordered clothes. Enoch asked, did you like it? Lilith replied, of course. Enoch said, you studied the whole day today. Sorry, princess, I only planned on having you taught manners, but Grandpa made you do all sorts of extra things. Lilith replied, what are you talking about? Of course one needs to learn everything. Studying is fun. If you hadn't made me study, I'd have ended up with the intelligence of a chimpanzee. Studying is really fun, I'm tired of playing all day. Enoch said, the math teacher said you're a genius, but even I can tell that. Who did you take after? Lilith replied, of course you, Dad. You worked hard today. The next day, there were people waiting for Lilith in the palace. A man introduced himself to Lilith. I'm Robert, part of the Magic Tower's Gifted Talent Department. Enoch told her, don't be nervous. Just answer the questions he asks. If you don't know, just say no. The teacher told the Duke, it's embarrassing, but I'm not qualified to educate the princess. The princess is a genius. When children show expertise in math, it's typical for them to be scouted by the Magic Tower for early gifted education. Grandfather told Enoch, I have contacted the Magic Tower to personally verify Lilith's ability. Enoch replied, you didn't ask me or Lilith about this. Grandfather said, it's just a simple test. Whether she goes to the Magic Tower or not, it's her decision. But if the results are good, it will make you feel more at ease. If she works at the Magic Tower later. Enoch thought about it, it wasn't a lie. In the Pavilion Empire, all high-level ability users are required to be conscripted. But the Magic Tower's researchers are at the very bottom, unless the Empire falls, they never have to fight in bloody battles. Grandfather told Lilith, don't be nervous. Just do what you did with the teacher yesterday. Lilith thought, I shouldn't have overdone it. This whole situation got this big because of mathematics. To become a researcher at the Magic Tower and make formulas, one must be a genius in mathematics. Actually, to make formulas, the study of mathematics is the foundation of principle. That's why the Magic Tower looks for kids good at math and supports their education from a young age. Lilith thought, I have memorized the original world setting but never expected this disaster. I'm not a genius, I'm just an idiot. Robert told Lilith, look over there, that's Oscar Manuel. He was the youngest Magic Tower Lord in history. Lilith was shocked looking at Oscar. She thought, Oscar is practically an enemy who prepared for rebellion, gathering high-ranking ability users. Nobles and politicians were on his side, but he couldn't gain control of the Magic Tower. Oscar never helped my father until the end. If we had secured the Magic Tower, where he was a key figure, the revolution could have been delayed 3 years. Does that mean Oscar supported the Empire? Not exactly. Even though I've read the original story, I can never truly understand his motives. I've made up my mind, I'll pretend to be a prodigy and get involved with the Magic Tower to win him over. Then she solved some math problems. Everyone was surprised. Suddenly, Oscar said coldly, do you think I came here to watch children play house? Is this a joke? Make sure to check thoroughly. Then Robert gave her a linear equation. Lilith knew how to solve it, but she pretended to be dumb. Lilith told everyone, I don't know. Father and grandfather told her. That's right, princess, you did well. But suddenly Oscar said, I just wasted my time on a fool. After hearing this, Enoch told him to apologize to his daughter. Oscar replied, you should apologize to me for wasting my time. Enoch countered, who told you to come? It wasn't necessary for the Magic Tower Lord to personally come here uninvited. Oscar replied, I was just curious, but it seems she is no different from other disappointing children. Enoch told him to apologize, but he refused. Grandfather stopped Enoch. He said, I contacted you regarding my granddaughter. Let's leave it at that and call it a day. Oscar replied, it seems even Nordic has aged. The sharp insight I once respected is nowhere to be found. After hearing this, Lilith got so angry. She was controlling herself not to interfere. Oscar continued, your daughter is one of the many mediocre in this field, so don't entertain futile dreams. Just focus on rebuilding the family you abandoned for 7 years and pass it down properly. After hearing this, Lilith shouted, I'll do it. Give me 5 more minutes. I'll solve that again, and if I solve it, you will apologize to my dad and grandpa for speaking so rudely. Oscar smiled and said, go ahead. Lilith started solving the problem. After a while, she got the answer. Suddenly, Oscar apologized for causing any offense. Lilith thought, what's this? He was so rude earlier, but now he's all polite, but what's with the madness in his eyes? Oscar said, I have a suggestion about your granddaughter with me. After that, Oscar ended up having dinner with them, and he even offered to personally tutor Lilith. Of course, when the opportunity arose, I decided to attempt recruiting him, so I accepted. But while trying to land a blow, I only ended up making things worse. The next day, as Oscar was tutoring her, Lilith noticed that somehow Oscar seemed like a different person. He taught her more about mathematics and how to create magic formulas. He asked, do you know numbers smaller than 0? Lilith thought, I guess I'll just pretend to think for a bit and then give an answer. It looked like he was teaching her negative numbers. Suddenly, Oscar said, you're way too small for being 7 years old. You seem unnaturally small. Lilith got scared. She thought, is he just talking nonsense, or does he really know my secret? I can't tell. Oscar said, maybe it's just because you eat less. Lilith replied, okay, I'll just eat a lot from now. Oscar said, yeah, eat a lot and grow. If you want to work with me. Lilith replied, but I am not going to the magic tower. Oscar told her, working at the magic tower would be more convenient for you. Lilith said, I'll think about it. That night, Lilith thought about how she was actually smaller than a 7-year-old. It turned out there was a reason why she was growing slowly. As the child of the protagonist, it was only natural to say, I am not ordinary. Lilith Rubinstein was kidnapped by the imperial family and later died. At that moment, Enoch arrived. He told Lilith to sleep. He was very happy that his daughter was a genius. After a while, Enoch saw Lilith wasn't able to sleep. He asked, want me to read you a book today? The story is, The Princess Trapped in the Tower. Once upon a time, there was a king and a princess. The king cherished and loved his daughter, the princess, dearly. One day, when the princess turned 7, the evil king of a neighboring country kidnapped her. The king, who had lost his daughter, wept each day. In despair, the good king bowed to the evil king and became his servant. But still, the evil king wouldn't return the princess. Suddenly, Lilith thought, this story feels a little familiar. Then the good king, overcome with sadness, met a boy. The boy was very strong. So that one day, when the boy reunited with the princess, he could be a good older brother to her, the good king adopted the boy as his son. But one day, the evil king informed the good king that the princess had passed away. The good king decided to take revenge on the evil king along with his friends. They both defeated all the evil people and the bad kingdom. Finally, they captured the evil king and pointed their swords at him. Lilith thought, there's something familiar. I think I've read this before. Actually, the story Enoch was reading was his own, and the princess was Lilith. Suddenly, Lilith came out of the palace. She had become so giant. When Enoch learned that his daughter had died, he turned his sword toward the emperor. His daughter had a hidden identity, and the emperor, who had learned of it early, hid her and exploited her powers. He brainwashed her, and she started killing people recklessly. Enoch wanted to get his daughter back but couldn't find a way. The one who stopped her was. Suddenly, Enoch stopped reading. He told Lilith, it's not a good ending. I think I should stop reading now. From now on, I'll read the story first before I read it to you. Sorry for the harmful content, princess. Lilith said, but still, it's a happy ending. Enoch, surprised, asked, where is the happy ending? She explained, if the princess hadn't been kidnapped, the good king wouldn't have had to take revenge on the bad king, right? Enoch replied, you really think the princess died though? Lilith said, there's nothing to be done anyway. She was brainwashed by the bad king. She would have killed a lot of people. Enoch said, but because the princess died, this isn't a happy ending. The main character was the good king, right? The main character's beloved daughter died. Then even if everyone else is happy, the main character isn't. So, it's not a happy ending, Lilith. How could a father watch his beloved daughter be happy? Lilith thought about this. Then she asked, if Dad is the good king and I am the princess, how would you live after I die? He cuddled her and told her, I wouldn't be able to live. Maybe the good king felt the same way when he thought the princess was dead. He didn't die right away, he planned to die after taking his revenge. Lilith said, that means you will die too. Enoch replied, if I miss the princess, I'll just follow her. I can't live without the princess. And even if I lost her, I wouldn't be stupid enough to become the bad king's subordinate. I'd just go straight in and rescue our princess from the bad king. Lilith told him, it wouldn't be that easy. She asked her dad, all the ability users are supposed to go to the battlefield when the emperor commands, right? Enoch replied, yeah, that's right. She said, but didn't you tell me before that I didn't have to go? And as your daughter, I'm supposed to be a powerful ability user, right? Then I should go. Enoch answered, you don't have to go. Dad has his own way. And then he fell asleep. Lilith thought, I know soon he will meet the emperor alone. He'll probably ask for my exemption from the military, and he'll become a dog that obeys the emperor without protest. The good king can't help but become the bad king's subordinate because he has a weakness, it's his daughter. Even if I hadn't been kidnapped, he still wouldn't be free. He will negotiate with the emperor to keep me from being sent to the battlefield. He'll fight meaningless battles because of me. He could even pick up a sword for me. I was wrong in thinking that the daughter was just a trigger for the original story. Every action that he took had a goal, and that goal was me. The original story, which I thought was definitely a happy ending, was ultimately a clear tragedy for the main character. After the original story ended, Dad might have followed me in death. So, what must I do? I have to survive. I have to stay by his side after the original story and give the main character, Enoch Rubinstein, a happy ending. I must somehow help him. There are 4 highest classes, Quarto, Septima, Octava, and Novena. Ability users are classified into 6 classes. The existence of Primera is the source of magic, the closest being to a god and an omnipotent existence. That's why a Primera is born only once per generation. Until now, the imperial family's pavilion has produced Primera. The 12th prince's class was determined as Quarto. The emperor has had 14 children so far, but there is still no Primera. The absence of the next Primera is causing unrest among the people. The current emperor of the empire is Nicholas von Pavilion, who is 48 years old. 7 years ago, when Enoch left, the emperor was furious. His absence was a huge loss of power. But the emperor waited patiently. If he had not been patient and had forced Enoch to submit, then Lilith would have long been dead in her grave. The Primera, who consumes life force instead of mana, has a lifespan twice as long as an average person. The omnipotent Primera could brainwash talented individuals to make them loyal, but it required a significant amount of life force, especially when the target was someone as strong as Enoch Rubinstein. After 7 years of waiting, the emperor finally got news that Enoch had returned with his daughter. The next day, Lilith thought, I'm terribly short. If I continue to grow this slowly, my true identity will be revealed to everyone. I need to grow up quickly. First, I have to rescue Cheshire according to the plan. Then I must enter the Ability Development Institute, because talented people must go there to properly use their powers. Only the Emperor can unlock the core in the heart of talents. And then, by using my ability and consuming life force, I can grow. That's how I can hide my identity. Then she heard Jetty and June talking, saying, it's a miss again. There's still no Primera. Until now, the first or second child of the imperial family had always been a Primera. Jetty said, without a Primera, there will be no crown prince. But Lilith already knew there would be no Primera in this generation. Then she went to study. She asked Jetty, where is the dispensary? She gave flowers to the doctor and told him, you're very smart and clever. The maid told me about you, I wanted to say hello. Then she asked, do you have fairy tears? The doctor replied, yes, we have some. Lilith asked, can I have some too? Fairy tears were also called salvation. It was a rare, enigmatic healing herb controlled by the royal family to ensure limited circulation. She told him, I want to make tea for my father. Please give me some. The doctor wrote down her name and gave her some salvation. Then she thought, how should I sneak out? She got a clever idea to sneak out with Leon and Theo. That meant they were gifted individuals. They had already graduated from the training academy and unlocked their abilities. In their household, they were the strongest after her father, Enoch. After a while, Leon and Theo asked Lilith to come play with them. But Lilith refused. She said, "I'm hungry, but the food here isn't tasty." They asked, "Is there something you want to eat?" Lilith replied, "Yes, the food we used to eat when I lived with my dad at the old house." Theo asked, "Should we ask the chef to make it?" Leon replied, "The chef only knows noble food." Leon then suggested, "Should we go out and visit a commoner restaurant?" Theo said, "But we can't ask the adults." Leon suggested, "Then let's sneak out." After a while, they all sneaked out from the backyard. The three of them came out. Suddenly, Theo's head started hurting. The two asked, "Are you okay?" He replied, "It's actually about 5 days after a headache like this that it happens." Suddenly, Lilith remembered that he had a rare disease. It was called mana clash. It was a rare illness where divine energy and magical energy clashed within the body, causing periodic seizures. Theo would die in the spring of the year after he was knighted at 16. Suddenly, Theo asked, "Shall we go ahead, Lilith?" She replied, "Yes." Though it was said to be incurable, there actually was a way to counteract mana clash recorded in ancient texts. It was called the Saint's Heart. At that time, no one knew what it referred to. Eventually, Cheshire managed to uncover its meaning. But by then, Theo was already dead. Cheshire became obsessed with interpreting the ancient text. He finally found the Saint's Heart and laid it at Theo's grave. In the original story, Cheshire went through so much to figure it out. There was no way I could easily get it. Wait, am I an idiot? Lilith thought. I already know what it is. As a devoted reader who read the original story multiple times, saving him isn't the only thing I can do. He endured immense pain during each episode, but now he won't have to suffer through it anymore. She got really happy and asked Theo, "Buy me something pretty." Theo replied, "I'll buy you everything." Then they went to a general store. She thought, "I'm sure they'll have the Saint's Heart." They went in, and then Lilith told Theo, "I want this." They were all shocked after seeing what she actually wanted. The shopkeeper said, "That's a mana beast core. It's extracted from the body of a slain mana beast. It's actually unsuitable as a noble lady's toy." Theo and Leon told her not to buy that, but she yelled and cried, saying, "Mommy would have definitely bought me this." It was her plan to make them feel guilty so they would buy it for her. But did her plan succeed or not? Watch the next part to know more.